Scorpio, I got a channel for you, which was you going around a kind of at night in a cave with a torch. And there was this banner that just says, what remains? It was a question. What is left? And I felt like this was about Scorpio season, which has just ended as I'm making this video with a new moon in Scorpio. And it feels as if Scorpio season is something personally I think benefits every single star sign. But probably only you are able to deal with it. You know, us other signs, we get dragged through Scorpio season. I always say it's a bit like Shawshank Redemption when he crawls through the pipe, you know, and he gets spat out with all the effluents and whatnot at the end into this kind of open, bright field. So we get shown things about us during Scorpio season. But it's different for you because you're able and willing to put that bucket down to the bottom of the well, you know, or even climb into the well and see what's happening underneath the surface of things. So it feels like for you it's been a different journey throughout November, and as we're coming into December, it's like, what did I miss? Okay, so I've got a couple of oracle cards here for you. Oh, that's nice. Ooh, ooh. We'll start with the lighter and brighter one, which is the Feast of Plenty. Choices and their consequences. And this, of course, can be your choices. It can be, and I'm getting a bit of this, things that you didn't necessarily choose, but they became part of your landscape. Therefore, you had to kind of let them walk alongside you. This could be obligations, it could be relationships, it could be people. Sorry, I need my coffee today, Scorpio. And looking at this card, and I think you need one too, so go make one. Or something stronger. No, this is a really interesting card, which is, this is what I look like coming out of Scorpio season. This is Root Girl, okay? Root Girl, the disowned self. Oof, I'm liking this. I'm feeling a power in it, but it's not easy. And some of this reading might be a bit of tough love. If you can hear clicks and whatnot, there's a cat flap next to me, and the cats are like, yeah, as soon as I start doing a video, I must go in, I must go out, I must go in and out. I'm going to take a couple of Enchanted Veil Oracle cards before we get into the tarot, and I feel like you're coming out of the shadows in December, but it's not really the revelation of that. Seeing the light, as we always say, may come at the turn of the year. Oh, for the love of God, woman. Yes. Yes. I've got one elderly cat who doesn't like, well, I call her the dowager. She doesn't like putting her nose on the cat flap. This is it. This is it. This is it. The eye. This is Scorpio through and through. If anybody asked me what is Scorpio about, it would be this. Maybe with more of a smoky eye to it, but it would be this. Look deeper to find the truths that lie hidden around you. That is it. See, you're the only... I don't normally use these oracle cards until the end, or not use them at all, the Enchanted Veil. So it makes me think that I'm going to use the Enchanted Veil Tarot as well for you. At least a bit. Okay, tell us what's been knocking around for this Scorpio season that we need to see, okay? In the second half of the reading, I will do love and relationships. Okay, but I want to get the energies here of what we need to see, this disowned self. You know, sometimes when you think of disowning somebody, it's like I disowned my parents or whatever. And it's like a very negative thing. But for some reason, I'm getting it for you as a power move. Only Scorpio could make disowning somebody a power move. But it feels like you refuse to be the person you were meant to be. And I know that often we're like, oh, I was meant to be this, I was meant to be that. But there's also the other side. the person that other people thought we were meant to be. And sometimes as well, and I'm getting this for you, the person or the story that we grew up with in a family setting of who we were. And this doesn't necessarily mean that people sold you short or, bigged you up or didn't. It's just that within that setting, sorry, this cat's jumping all over the place. Within that setting, they had you down as this kind of a person with these kind of prospects. You would never do that, but you would always do this. Thank you. And you're here to rewrite that story. And it kind of starts now as Scorpio season has closed out. Think of November as like you've been mining the data, that the universe has been not showing you everything, but definitely giving you a hint as to where all the bodies are buried that you need to see. Okay? I want to take one more card. Yeah, I get this. We've got the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is a very reliable card. It can come in when somebody, for example, if they offer you a really good job, or if there's somebody at work that is mentoring you. It can be a mentor. It can be a benefactor. So it can be somebody gives you a pay rise. Somebody believes in you. But the cards that go with it are the Six of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. This is a card of deep contemplation. And I'm pretty sure it's a Scorpio card as well, but I haven't got my smelly book. It's upstairs. Contemplating what you... I hate using the word deserve. I don't think this is about what you deserved so much as what you were owed. There's a difference, isn't there, between deserving something and someone owing it to you. You're kind of owed a debt here, and it may be financial and it may be psychological. You owe it to yourself to identify it, to find it, and to transform it. And someone else owes it to you. Interesting. Okay, tell us a bit more, please. Wow. Whew. God, that's amazing. Okay. Very important, I think, that you don't hold back in December and as we cross over into 2026. And I'll tell you why. We got the Page of Swords, which is like the germ of an idea. It can just be when words just start coming into your head, thoughts, ideas, notions, concepts. You're starting to be able to identify who you really are. And this is at whatever age you're at. This is not, a game that can only be played for teenagers and young people. We rediscover ourselves and our body repairs and replaces itself every so many years. And I feel like you're in a month of discovery, which some of it is coming from the past of things that you've known before, but some of it is also pretty brand new, having been through that cycle of Scorpio season. And of course, as I'm making this, I think Mercury's now retrograde in Scorpio. I'm pretty sure that it moved into Scorpio on the 19th, which is super duper powerful about shining a light back down your life and identifying who has been your ride or die, who's been secretly on your side or just rooting for you, root girl, but also who sees you in a way that you no longer want to be, and who sees you in a way that creates a cage for who you can become and clips your wings a bit. Strength. Yes, please. This is great. This comes not when you defeat everything, But when you know yourself, the oracle at Delphi had a sign above it in Greek saying, know thyself. And I remember at university when I was studying that, I never really knew what it meant, you know, and I was like 20 or whatever. I used to think, but I need to study everybody else. I need to find out what everybody else is up to, you know. And actually, I now know it really is the most important thing to know who you are, to know where all the bodies are buried in you, to know your strengths, your weaknesses, and to not have them dictated to you by your past, by your family, by your friends, by your loved ones, by anybody. You are the expert on you. And it doesn't just start this month. You always have been, but there's a very strong knowledge of that coming your way. And you're probably already feeling it. Let me know in the comments section as much as you want to let me know. I know Scorpios actually leave the best comments. Because for a Scorpio to comment, they really bloody mean it. And I've learned this over time, Scorpio. You know that my brother's a Scorpio. A lot of my friends are Scorpio. I'm a bit fascinated by Scorpio. And I am very fascinated by the Scorpio comment section because it's well worth a read. If you're going to put something there, it's going to be meaningful. So if you have something meaningful to share, share it, please. Now, this is great. We get the Fool. And again, it's not a sunshine, daytime, zippity-doo-dah, and Gemini had a bit of this as well. It's not a, you know, whistling, walking along, hoo-hoo, I'm the Fool, I'm in my teenage era. That's what the Fool normally is. Kind of like, yeah, come on, we're going to jump off the cliffs, all going to be good. But with this one, you've got the moon, it's at night, it's more pensive, you're checking it out. You're not rushing, it's not sudden, it's been a long time coming, you know what you're doing. It's still a leap of faith, but you know what you're doing because you've been thinking about it a long time and you've seen a lot of things. Remember, that's also third eye activation, which in Scorpio is huge. I'm going to take one more card that's going to be a bridge into relationships. And this can be friends, this can be family, this can be lovers. Okay, yeah, I like that. If this is hitting the spot for you, do hit the hype button, which is the secret button, quite Scorpio-esque, that YouTube keeps. And half people have got it and half people haven't. So on your phone, if you hit like and go like that as if you're on Tinder, past clip and whatever the other ones are you never use, there is a hype button. So if it's resonating, please do hype the video. It really does help it. Okay, the bridge. The Two of Pentacles. It's a decent bridge card actually. Jupiter in Capricorn. Think of Jupiter as the planet of expansion. Think of Capricorn as a sign that is able to build and plan, okay? Building, planning, expansion. If you were a city, you'd be expanding into the suburbs, okay? Your relationships are going to have some kind of a reevaluation. I don't know if it's as strong as using the word shake up, so I'm going to get a very scorpionic, this one, Scarlet Rose Tarot. Let's move into the erection section with Scarlet Rose Tarot. It's my 80s DJ impression. I think this is very scorpionic, isn't it? It feels that way. Look at the colours. Gorgeous as well. Itchy nose. Fabulous. Okay, tell us. Let's just have a little shuffle, McDuffle. Tell us, please. This is a bit like when you go to the chiropractor and sometimes your back doesn't crack easily. Oh, that's better. It tells me the nature of things. So cards that don't shuffle as loosely as they could usually points to some kind of withheld or secretive thing. But we don't know. Let's have a look. Want that one and it doesn't want to come out. Oof. What is that? Oh my God. I was not expecting that. I was expecting something a bit dodgy. Often when a card doesn't want to come out, it's like, I can almost feel you like, Gemma, just don't bother, you know, because it's often like, and it's the Seven of Swords for the third time, you know, or something like that. But you got to do what you got to do as a tarot reader. You got to just say what it is. What's that one? Ooh, who's that? Right, the card that didn't want to come out is the Ace of Cups. Well, you can see why I'm surprised. So, I'm getting a really weird channeled message, and it's a bit like, and I'm not good on accents, but it could be Texan in a real, I can't do it because it'd be so embarrassing for anybody who actually lives there, you know. But I'm getting this love in them their hills, which is almost like, you know, when they say there's gold in them their hills or whatever, there's love in them their hills. So there's some love, okay? That's all I'm going to say at the moment. I'm picking up on some love. I can't really name it. I'm also picking up, we got the World card. And I feel like this is you as the Strength card as well. You're moving into a new cycle, which we know. You're stronger than you were before because you know yourself better, which immediately puts you in a good place because knowing yourself is putting you in a good place. But then this guy shows up, the Magician. Can be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Can also be somebody, think of magicians, you know, and there's different kinds of magicians. Obviously, there is like the sorcerer and the alchemist. And then there's the one that's more like Penn and Teller, you know, someone who goes on the telly, or David Blaine, and does tricks. Either way, there is a division here between you and this person. There is a curtain, there is a stage, there is a platform that the magician does stuff and you would go and watch that magician, but only, you know, after the show is gone, and if you hang around and you look behind the curtain, as any Scorpio would do, because we all know that's where we get the reality check. What do we see behind the curtain, please? And I might need to use, what shall I use? Ooh. Ooh. Yes. Let me find my Bohemian Gothic Tarot. Ooh. Which I consider to be extremely Scorpionic. Extremely Scorpionic. Tell us a bit more about this magician. Tell us a bit more. So the Bohemian Gothic Tarot is the normal 78 deck of any tarot, but it's kind of dark and Scorpionic. Okay. Yeah, see, look. First off, we get the Page of Wands. And I'm seeing here almost sort of a magic wand, you know? You're like, Gemma, are you telling me I'm going to meet someone who's got a magic wand? Well, maybe. I'm going to take another card first. I'm getting another channeled message, and your standards are hard to meet, is what I'm getting. And this is true. Of the Scorpios I know, and some I know very well, like one Scorpio, female friend of mine, who stuck up for me in an argument once. And I'm Pisces. I don't have many arguments. But she, like, that was it. She saw it. She waded in. She was a bulldog. She was just like, absolutely ride or die for me. And I remember thinking, would I do that if the boot was on the other foot? I hope I would. I hope I'd have the courage to do what she did. So that's in the mix, and I don't yet know why, okay? So we have the Magician. It's not easy to choose a card. there's something here. So we've got our Page of Wands, we've got the Two of Swords, which you can see, we've got the blindfold, we've got the two swords. There is still something about a person you are connected with that you don't yet see, even though we have this all-seeing eye. Keep on the lookout. Keep that searchlight. And it wasn't even a torch. It was more like, and I'm getting a lot of like stage theatrical stuff for you for some reason. It was a bit like, and it's given me an itchy ear, when they shine a spotlight on an actor. You know, when they shine light to find someone. And that light, you know, if it's like a comedian or someone who runs from one end of the stage to the other and the light follows them. I'm getting that for you. And I also get the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is a card that comes to tell you it's very important for you to know what you need to know and to not rely on any kind of thinly veiled anything. You know, if there's a gap between what you think you know and what you know, don't fill it. Don't bridge it yourself, because you may get a false result with that. Okay. Tell me more, please, about the Magician. Seven of Cups, the magic. This person has the ability to make things happen, though. And I have to say, I'm quite attracted to that, or I feel a sense of attraction towards what they can do. Maybe they've got a lot of charisma, a lot of personality. Page of Cups, I'm liking that too, because it's not full on. The Page of Cups is a reaching out, a small beginning, you know, some affection, testing things out, being maybe a date, you know, or maybe a message, but not. I think what you really need to avoid with this is any kind of fast forwarding or love bombing, because you don't need to be whisked through anything. You need to see everything as it's happening. In the extended love reading, I'm going to do a you and them side by side mirror reading to try and really, I'm going to use two of the same deck. So you're the one deck and they're the other. And then I do it side by side. It just kind of, I don't know, it karmically gets inside things. Yeah, I get that. Let's have one more. Tell us something we really don't know, if you can. That one. Oh my God, that's so nice. Well, so far what we don't know is nice. So I'm liking that. Like what was hidden was the Ace of Cups. And what we don't know is the Star. And again, honestly, I was expecting something a bit more savage than the Star. Okay, maybe I need to get my nose out of it. Tarot, say what you have to say. Queen of Swords is here, telling us again, that's the sword of truth. I often associate Scorpio with the Queen of Swords rather than the Queen of Cups, although you are also the Queen of Cups, and that might come up in the extended. But the Queen of Swords is about truth, the sword of truth, and boundaries. And I'm also getting the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It's very, very important that you hold this relationship up to the light and see it for what it really is, in the same way you've learned to hold yourself up to the light and really know who you are. First job is to know who you are, and I feel like you are, this Scorpio season has really been the cherry on the cake of knowing who you are. Second job, because you're more important than they are. Thanks, Biggie. Sorry, my cat. Go on, Biggie. She will try and show you what I call her walnut, and then it just turns into a whole furry OnlyFans situation. The second thing is to find out who they are, and to not, when you want something to be this or you want it to be that, it needs to come to you. You need to put it to the sword of truth. And if it passes, it passes. And if it fails, it fails. You are the judgment person here. The judge. The judgment person. Mercury's still retrograde, okay? You're the judge. No one else. Not your family, not your friends, not your history. Nothing. You're the judge. And you're a bloody good judge, Scorpio. But sometimes if love comes in, you just maybe need a reminder to pare it back, to keep that eye open, okay? You can even see when your eye is closed though, because I know what you're like. What you're like. Okay, I'm going to go and do the extended reading. We're going to use 2 of this deck, Mystic Maidens, which is very Scorpionic. And we're going to do you and your person side by side, and we're just going to dig in between and riff around the cards and clarify and use shadow cards as well on the edges. No stone unturned, we've got our eyes on the prize. Okay, it's linked below in the, well, I hope it is if I've put it in the description box. That's where it should be. Okay, I'll see you on the other side. Namaste.